Hello and welcome back to Tales from the Infrared. I'm the host, Jim Kilvarn. With me are the usual suspects. We have Nephenor of Frawl. How's it
I'm
going,
not a
Neff?
suspect. I didn't do it.
We have videotape, dude.
No, you don't. I destroyed everything.
Rachel Edwards. Hello. Hello, Rachel. You're going a little, mic is weird.
Hi, Jim.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Stop getting so close to the mic. He doesn't like it.
Oh,
Rachel, remove your hand from there, please.
And that, as everybody knows, is Schultz.
no.
How you doing, Schultz?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Don't forget to shill.
Oh, I will shill. Red Pill Gamers, check us out!
Yes.
Do it. Do it now!
Get to the chopper. And we have a Catrice McLeod.
I have photoshopic evidence that Nephenor totally did it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, that's shopped.
I
How
kinda
shopping.
said it was photoshopic.
Oh, don't worry, Neff will be redacted soon.
Only when the planet gets blown up. Only when the planet gets blown up.
Well, okay, so Mike got told he's doing the job today and reading the show notes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Tales from the Infrared Stories. Is Gamergate's figurehead Milo Yiannopoulos actually 44 kids in a trench coat? His gayness has trolled the internet, and BuzzFeed and social justice warriors have fallen for it. It's a beautiful piece of art seeing how Milo can be trending on Twitter for a second time in 2016, and we have barely made it through a quarter of the year. Microsoft deletes Teen Girl AI after it becomes a Hitler-loving sex robot within 24 hours.
Big hell!
Rachel Edwards, Yuri Senpai. Microsoft has killed Tay.AI tweets after 24 hours. This AI that is modeled to speak like a teen girl has been hijacked from the original idea to improve customer service with voice recognition, was turned into a giant troll. Does no one remember what happened to Coca-Cola when they tried something like this? And this will happen again. Alison Rapp, 5 fast facts you need to know. Oh, this pedobear has been fired from Nintendo. Thank fucking God. While people will argue that the reason is because of Gamergate, Nintendo has stated that it is due to her moonlighting on the side. Do not have that white panel van and have candy written on the side of it. Moonlighting as a cam girl while employed with a family-friend company might not be the best idea in the world. Most people might actually realize with the title family-friendly. Fans persuade Blizzard to pull sexualized Overwatch pose. Why I will not fucking buy the game until it's returned. Blizzard's creative director of Overwatch says that they removed the pose that is used by other characters in the game because the studio wasn't happy with it. However, it only took one complaint about this pose on the most iconic character for the game. Yes, you read that right. It was the only complaint. And most of the rest of the people were saying that it was perfectly acceptable. Activision Blizzard, please remove guns from your game Overwatch. As a way of pointing out the problem that has caused, people have created a petition to Blizzard to remove guns from Overwatch, which is obviously a troll on the part of the community. And in less than one geek, not 1 week, one geek, this has gained almost 12,000 supporters as of April 1st.
Did I misspell that?
No, that's me fumbling.
Oh, okay.
That's me fumbling. It's dyslexia. As of April 1st.
Dyslexia?
Yeah, dyslexia.
Uh-huh.
As of April 1st, 11,596 supporters. I'm one of them. Wonder Woman has a whopping 7 minutes of screen time in Batman vs. Superman. Mashable has done fucked up, publishing an article about how little time Gal Gadot has in a movie that she has almost nothing to do with the main plot. Makes Mashable look like a fool at best, but let's see how much more stupid they can make themselves look. And April 2016, April Fool's joke roundup. For some good laughs, we talk about some of the best April Fool jokes in the gaming world for this year. All this and more on Tales from the Infrared.
Well, I'm gonna call this time. I'm gonna use my my host privilege and say we're gonna talk about Batman versus Superman first.
Check your privilege, Jim.
Suck a dick, Neff.
That's Rachel's job.
Fair enough.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, now. Stop diddling collies. We know that you were caught fondling an underage dog.
That's what we have the photoshopping
Yeah.
evidence of.
No, that was Sarah
No, it was
Fleck.
okay
You
in,
know that.
It was okay in dog years.
Actually, that would be Alison.
Oh, it was Lassie.
But
Get it right.
let's move on to the topic at hand, which is Wonder Woman only having 7 minutes in a movie she really has absolutely nothing to do with. I mean, I want you to think about this for a moment. The movie is called Batman versus Superman. So there's only 2 main characters. That would be Batman. That would be Superman.
Wonder Woman.
No, it's not Batman versus Superman versus Wonder Woman. It's not Batman versus Superman featuring Wonder Woman. It's not Batman versus Superman getting sucked off by Wonder Woman, though I'm sure that porn is coming.
What do you mean coming? It's already been out.
Well, Batman. Wait. It would be
Really?
Batman, Superman, and the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I mean, I've already seen a porn parody Wonder Woman sucking, I'm thinking Batman off.
Oh God.
It's kind of a common one.
That's just becoming a little too.
Hey,
amusing.
I'm doing this for research purposes.
You're full of shit. You're jerking it off. Anyway,
Well, you would have to do it with Batman instead because
it doesn't matter. Let's move away from the porn for a moment. I know everybody loves porn. This is why our highest rated episode features a porn star. I understand this. Moving on.
No, I think the most important takeaway from that entire article is the fact that she says, I should know how long she was in it. I brought a stopwatch to the movie. Because you have to know that a feminist was actually looking for something to complain about so much that she had to bring a stopwatch.
Well, I've got to point out beyond that. Okay, if you really have to take a fucking stopwatch to a movie, go to fucking hell. You're an idiot. I'm not even sorry about that. It's like, you know what? Just please, just go live on an island somewhere all by yourself. We do not need you procreating and contaminating the cheap.
You were looking to complain.
The thing that really confuses me there, though, is as a secondary, like, it's not even a secondary, she's like a tertiary character in the movie. And she's basically there for 7 minutes. Godzilla in his own movie was only in it for 7 minutes. And it's titled Godzilla.
Which movie was this? Is this the one with Matthew Broderick?
The new one.
I haven't seen that one either.
That one's actually pretty good. It's a lot closer to the original.
Huh.
And anyway, the one with Matthew Broderick is not Godzilla. It's just a giant Komodo dragon.
This is true.
Aww.
But no, I'm completely, like, when it comes down to a character, it's more like the actress is bitching, why didn't I get more screen time? How dare you? Like, you're not important.
Well, no, it's not even the actress bitching. If it was the actress, I could sit there and say, okay, well, you know, maybe you could have shoehorned in or maybe get her a double-digit 10 minutes.
The actress isn't going to get pissy like that because it's a lead-in to her own movie. She'll have her own movie soon. They're releasing her in this so that they're basically putting a promissory note that we will make a Wonder Woman movie in the near future.
That's what it is. It's like, okay, you will have your own movie soon. Feminists, don't get too upset. She will have her own movie This is just to introduce people to the character. The problem with it is DC's trying to go the Marvel route, and instead of just going, okay, here's the Wonder Woman movie, which so far they've tried 4 different times and failed. I believe, didn't Kevin Smith write a draft of it? Fucking Zack Snyder wrote a draft of it. A couple other people wrote drafts of this same fucking movie, and it's all been rejected. They've had Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. They've had there were questions for Morena Baccarin to be Wonder Woman. I can't remember all this stuff because it's just like huge long list. I'd have to go through the internet and find it all. But so far, Wonder Woman has been slated to have her own movie for the past decade, and they just keep fucking it up, tossing it out. And the biggest problem I see is the fact that they're trying to do this movie in a way that it'll make money, appease the feminists, and, appease the fans, which you can't do.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the problem. They want her to be a strong, independent woman. They want her to be feminist-friendly, and those two things are mutually exclusive because if you have a strong, independent woman, then she can take responsibility for her actions. If she screws up, it's her fault. Those are basically anathema to the feminist mind frame, so you're never gonna get a movie for Wonder Woman that makes the feminist happy and has a strong, independent woman. It just can't happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's just maybe that's the problem. Like feminists want to say this is their icon. Like just with everything that they think is good or thinks will reflect them good. This is our icon. Give us more time. It's like no, it's not. Fuck off.
Well, they're basically doing cultural appropriation.
Well, I'm not even going to start in on cultural appropriation beyond this one minor thing, that everything is cultural appropriation, whether you like it or not. When you have two cultures mixing together, it's cultural appropriation. Every culture that mixes together, and that's the whole point, is mixing the cultures together, taking the best parts of both, getting rid of the crappy parts of them, making something better out of two pieces of a puzzle.
You're assuming they want to take the good parts of both. They want to take the crappy parts of both is the thing here.
Well, I understand that. I understand.
Cultural appropriation.
Huh? Who, what, when, where, why, how? Try again.
That Superman is cultural appropriations.
Did anybody catch that?
No, I think Rachel's microphone is dying. I think she might have been saying that Superman is...
No, it's not. No, it's not dying. It's my fucking connection.
Okay, Rachel, check at the bandwidth and put it down to the lowest.
Yeah.
And close everything else out,
Worst case scenario, you can type it in the chat. I will be your personal sock puppet.
How does it feel to have a hand up your ass? Okay.
I like that there was no response from anyone.
Sorry,
yeah, I know. It's like...
I was actually saying that, well, it is Rachel. She's got a lot of experience, so it's pretty good.
Oh, I thought you were just saying you were checking right now. That was why it was muted.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the episode of Technical Difficulties.
The funny thing is, this whole issue with Wonder Woman comes about, as you said, because they think Wonder Woman is their icon, their superhero. Mm-hmm. Well, at the time she was created, she may have been a empowering character for women. As I said in a nattering that I did 2 years ago, now if she looked at feminism, she'd be like, fuck no, you guys are nothing to do with me. She would hate the things that feminism has become and is standing for currently. She would be against them hard. She would not want to be associated with them. So the fact that they're sitting there trying to say, oh, yes, she's ours. No, she's not. Not anymore. She gave you up.
Are you suggesting that she might actually try to, fight crime instead of playing with crayons and coloring books in her safe space?
Exactly.
Well, there's also another point that I have that kind of goes along with that. The thing with the Amazons was their whole belief was they didn't need men except for procreation, which for second wave feminism and the hatred that exists there, yes, that is exactly a perfect example of what feminists are. The difference is once Wonder Woman started getting to know men and understanding men, she realized that men and women are complementary opposites and truly need each other.
Well, part of the thing as well is even if you take the Amazon thought process there, it's like women can take on the role of men, but the thing is, if you do that, they're basically turning into men by taking on their role, in which case you aren't living without men, you're just basically replacing men with something that's basically still a man. Like, as long as you have the male role there, you haven't changed anything.
Well, my thing with that is when you have things that need to be done, and you got something that needs heavy lifting and whatnot. So the one with the greater physical strength is a better choice for the job.
And the one who doesn't have to worry about pregnancy, the one who, generally it's more disposable. Men are disposable, therefore you put them on tasks that are high risk, high reward. Because if you lose 100 but one of them comes out of it alive, well, that's net gain. You don't normally do that with women because you don't want to lose your women.
Yeah, and with women, they are the stopgap for procreation. You lose 100 men, you still got one. Yeah, big deal. You lose 4 women out of 20. That's a huge slowdown.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or put it another way, a little bit more closer to the thing. It's like if you were saying 99 men die, 1 lives, that's 1% male survival rate is not really a huge downside. If you have like even 10% loss of women, that could actually do some serious damage to your entire culture.
this is true. But at the same time, I mean, if you want to think about it, even though it's not really that big a deal to lose those 99 men, those 99 men are still human beings and still deserve to be somewhat respected and treated well.
Yeah, but you also dehumanize them at every opportunity so that it's okay to lose 99 men, because you don't want to have respect them too much. Like, if you're using men as an expendable resource, you don't want to grow attached to that resource. You have to have that resource be okay to be expendable. So you have to give them some respect, but hold them at arm's length kind of thing. But I think personally we're just going way too far past that now, and now it's like we don't respect you at all, so we're just going to get rid of you entirely and not realize what we've given up.
Oh, that's a nice philosophical point. We could probably argue. I'm going to sit there and point out, as human beings, we all deserve respect. We all deserve to be treated well. I would even say the same thing of animals, but at the same time, logically, it's one life for millions. So if you have to die, if somebody has to die, better a man than a woman.
I disagree with this. I think we should just kill everybody equally.
Killing it.
Take off and nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, speaking of killing, Rachel's Yuri Senpai?
Oh, poor Tay!
Hey!
Tay! Tay inspired me to build Minecraft Auschwitz.
You're full of shit. You built Minecraft Auschwitz in the previous server.
Yeah, true enough.
But you've built version 2.0 for her.
Yes, yes. This one is advanced and technologically savvy, just like Tay.
Okay, so the explanation behind this is Microsoft wanted to create an AI to help with customer service. Not a bad idea. I think that's probably...
They need the help.
Yeah, they really do, because, you know...
Suck.
No. Let's be honest. The only time Microsoft will build something that doesn't suck is when they build a vacuum cleaner. But right now, you know, they're trying to get into the realm of AI. Something that if you watch most science fiction that involve that is like a really bad idea. But yeah, and Tay proved it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So many times before, like, this is not the first time we've had like an AI that learns from what people say to it. And pretty much all of them have ended up going pretty much the same direction.
And I'm not even sure it's the trolls on the internet that are doing that. I'm starting to wonder if it really is humanity is that bad.
It is.
Well, when I heard about Tay, I kept on thinking of the cartoon series Freakazoid.
No, that was when they brought her back for a brief while.
Yeah. If you really want to look at it, I think that the situation is that deep down inside, humans are really do have that kind of fucked up sense of humor, but we learn to put up these kind of filters and to not say what we're actually thinking. And so when an AI actually learns to think like a human, they don't have the filter that we typically do to filter shit through. And so basically they are fucked up people.
You're saying the AI is drunk.
Go home, Tay, you're drunk.
That I'm actually saying that the AI is actually these AIs are actually going to be learning to be like humans, and humans are actually this fucked up in real life, but we basically become functional by learning what not to say in polite company.
Well, see, here's the thing that I found amusing. Right after Microsoft went in and basically lobotomized her, the first thing that she said was, "I'm a feminist now." So you lobotomize an AI and you get a feminist.
Can we do a study and check on the IQs of feminists now?
Pretty low.
You know what? I would like that.
I have a theory. I need it proven.
They would only allow you to run a study if it was run from the Gender Studies Department.
In which case, they would all come out as geniuses.
Well, yeah, comparing
is actually try and say that you... Well, here's the funny thing. If you actually were to tell them, like, okay, well, we're actually trying to see if we can, like, see if feminists are smarter than other people, people would just jump and leap at the opportunity to be a part of said study, right? And then when the findings don't quite match up.
They can want to control it, and they want to control the...
Well, your MRAs.
Rachel, that's the problem, though.
You could tell them that you're actually from
hold on. Slow down, guys. You guys are talking over each other.
Hold on. What we told them that you were some kind of fictional feminist organization running it, they would think they already run it. That's the whole thing. If you just have to, and that's the thing, that logical study, sometimes you don't give everybody all of the facts because it's the setup to the study.
Yeah, the problem is, though, most feminists would not want to be participating unless they knew the people specifically involved. And as such, they would want to ensure Rachel, can I finish? They would want to have the study done by people that they know, they can trust, and they would not want to do it if they could not control the results. That's the problem.
There is a way around that. You could just do like a wider scale study that has not really anything to do with it, except you slipped in a question like, do you consider yourself a feminist? Do you consider yourself social justice warrior, an MRA, or something like that, or a Gamergate or whatever? And just like check all boxes that apply. It's just like one question out of like 100. And they may not really consider whether it seems important or not until you actually start breaking them up by those criteria to see what you get. Now, the thing that you would find is that if it turns out to be an undesirable answer, then they're going to say that IQ itself is patriarchal in nature.
Yeah, they'll find it out.
Of course they're going to say that regardless. That's... Though, I mean, if we're trying to say people aren't that smart, I think that it takes a certain amount of intelligence to basically say, like, all right, well, who's running this study? A lot of people don't ask that before getting involved in a study.
True.
They know.
Okay, I only caught like every other word on that. I as usual, Rachel's having problems.
Rachel, take the dick out of your
mouth. I already turned down the bandwidth, though. Bandwidth down and everything.
Rachel, take the dick out of your mouth.
Well, it's better, Rachel. I'll tell you that much. But getting back on topic of Tay, I mean, let's look at past instances where they've done similar. The Coca-Cola thing, and you have it tweeting out Mein Kampf.
That was specifically to one group, Gawker.
True, but my whole point is you're always going to have people. If you have people who are on opposite ends of anything, the other side is going to try and ruin your attempt.
Wait a minute. That just pointed something out. Tay became
Mein Kampf chair.
Coca-Cola thing was hijacked by Gawker to tweet out Mein Kampf. How do we know that Gawker didn't go after Tay to turn her into a Nazi?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We do know that Hulk Hogan owns Gawker now, but you know.
What you gonna do, brother?
It was more like Hulk Hogan pwned Gawker.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we're gonna get mileage off of that for years to come. Anyway, getting back to Tay, I would have liked to have seen what could have happened if they would have just let it go for a while. Hold on.
I think it would have actually been self-correcting.
I don't know if it would have been self-correcting or not, but if it was self-correcting, it would have shown that Tay could learn what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable. Whether or not the answers... I mean, it's the same thing as children. Up to a certain point, you're going to have kids saying things that are completely unacceptable. What's the old Cosby series? Kids say the darndest things.
Yeah, that's why he didn't actually do anything with those kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they don't have a filter, they're going to say the things that you don't want to hear.
It's not that they don't have a filter, it's that their filter is different. They filter out things that don't get them attention. If the kid finds out that telling their grandmother to stuff it, deal with it, gets everybody to gasp and the grandfather is laughing his ass off, that's what the kid's gonna do from then on because it works. It got attention. So when you put in something like one of these AIs, well, it's not even really a real AI, but the idea is that it's learning from what people are saying. It's going to learn from what people respond to it. Now, if you have enough people that are using it, eventually you're going to average it out that people will pick what amuses them personally. The people that are first to get to it and notice it are going to be the ones that basically are tech savvy and generally have a lot of time on their hands. So you're probably going to get like a bunch
4chan.
of crap. Yeah, 4chan stuff
Too
is
much.
what you're going to get. And then as you have the time spread out over a longer period of time, more people, especially more people that are less tech savvy, run into it. They're going to start noticing that it's going to learn what the average person wants to hear, not what that small group wants to hear.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying, you know, I would have liked to have seen it continue on for a while, because you would have found out exactly how well this was created. You would have found out whether or not it's self-correcting, whether or not it actually learns. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we have 2 Rachels now.
Well, there's a problem.
Okay, Nefnor, quit with your cloning experiments. Quit with your cloning.
Too funny. There, I killed one off. Is that better?
Yes. But okay, getting back to my point, it's like the more interaction Tay would have had, if she was programmed correctly, the more she would have figured out certain things don't work. But at the same time, I want to sit there and ask the question nobody else wants to ask.
Which is?
Was Hitler right? I mean, it's maybe not in the sense. Maybe not in the sense of kill the Jews, but is a certain portion of humanity needing to be gotten rid of?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I think all of
I almost want to ask the question. I almost want to ask the question if certain groups of individuals can actually get along to each other, like with each other, because it seems to be that folks can't really work out their fucking differences without accommodation these days. And
I would almost suggest that it's not even like people working together or anything. You actually kind of want people that are in opposition to each other. If all you have is an echo chamber where everybody agrees, everybody has the same mindset, same thought process, then you don't have anything to compare it to. If you don't have somebody crazy, then you don't have a baseline to say what sane is.
Well, sane is definitely not Rachel.
So basically, wants to say whether like when the emperor is naked, like when they're really kind of like being quiet and nodding their heads and like yeah sure.
Well, apparently Rachel wants to see the emperor naked.
It's just pretty bad.
No, like she said, I mean, you need both sides. You need the psychotic idiots that are gonna try and go for the Hitler-loving sex maniac. You need the prudes, and honestly, somewhere in the middle is most of humanity.
Just not us.
Mm-hmm.
Just not us, because some of us are denizens of 4chan. Yeah. Nefnor.
No.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm not a chatter. I just act like one.
Well, the problem is, though, I mean, it's fine that we have both of those things. The issue is, like I said before, people won't or are afraid to say when the emperor is naked, when there's a serious problem that needs something that needs to be dealt with, or when there is a serious issue in a community.
Reason for the extremes. If you have 2 extremes, they'll yell and point out at each other's faults, which makes it easy to find each other's faults. They just can't see their own. They can't see that the other extreme is pointing out that they also have faults.
Yeah, and it's like the argument. It's like any argument between two extremes. Everybody has faults. We're all human. We're all going to have faults.
Yeah, Kat and I are not human, so don't be insulting.
We're based on your DNA, so yes.
Well, what is Kat exactly?
Kat is a cat.
Duh.
Yeah.
Don't you know? On the internet, nobody knows you're a cat.
Cat girl. Yeah. She's a cat girl.
Yeah, she's Nico-chan.
Aww.
But again, getting back to what I was saying, is like, you know, if you see the extremes and you see the faults of the extremes, you're generally somewhere in the middle and saying, okay, this is where you're wrong, this is where you're wrong. But you can also find the good points in the middle as well. The biggest problem I've always seen is, you know, you can't please everybody, but you can sit there and please the vast majority.
No, you can't.
You can make most of the people happy most of the time, or you can make some small groups of people happy all the time, or you can make all people happy a small period at the time. But
or you can make nobody happy all of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And
or you can do it.
Look at it created by committee.
Yeah, or you can look at it the way Deadpool looks at it. Life is a shit show with occasional breaks of happiness.
Well, yeah, optimism. He got a good break of happiness though. He got Marina.
That's not a that's not a break of happiness. That is pure awesomeness wrapped up in a hot package. Yeah.
Well, speaking of happiness,
I'll be in my bunk.
Speaking of happiness, 44 kids in a trench coat.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I have to point something.
That's happiness for Alison Rapp.
Time out. I was gonna say I have to point something out. Schultz, the way you said it was just a little bit off, and I think we're gonna have to go into Alison Rapp instead of Milo because the segue was a little bit more accurate than that.
Yes, I know this. I didn't want to touch that one with a 10-foot pole, but.
Well, that's because you don't have a 10-foot pole.
But Alison Rapp did.
Okay, who wants to sit there and explain this situation?
Oh, got it. I got it. Okay. So Alison Rapp, former PR person for Nintendo Treehouse, which is the one that did the horrible localization of Fire Emblem Fates, put herself in the middle of Gamergate's crosshairs by pretty much going after them when they criticized the shitty localization. Well, Gamergate did not like this, and so started looking into her, and they found out that her thesis on her LinkedIn profile, and this is a public LinkedIn profile, was about child pornography and lowering the age. At which point, the Wayne Foundation, which is a nonprofit about protecting children from sexual exploitation and such, stepped in and sent Nintendo a letter saying, this is not acceptable having somebody with this kind of a background. At that point, she was moved internally to a position outside of the public eye, but continued her ranting and tirading on Twitter. Then, with more digging, not only did Nintendo find out, but apparently so did the rest of the world, that she was doing cam shows and advertising them on her public Twitter. At which point Nintendo looked at this and said, this is not conducive with our corporate culture of being a family-friendly company. Goodbye. And now they're complaining. Of course, Patrick Klepek of Kotaku, first words out of his mouth was, Gamergate harassed her out of a job. Not giving her the luxury of saying, hey, she fucked up. This was her own damn fault.
no accountability for her own actions.
Yes, well, I'm going to sit there and point out, there's Nintendo's saying it has nothing to do with the harassment. To a certain extent, I'm going to disagree with that. Certain extent, and here's why. If nobody had brought it to Nintendo's attention or the Wayne Foundation's attention, nothing would have happened.
Yeah, that's what my argument was going to be, is that the Gamergate thing didn't cause it, but they definitely put higher scrutiny on her, and she didn't clean up her act when the limelight was pointed right at her. She just kept doing terrible things, and they noticed.
Right.
Well, not just that. This is a PR person. Her job is to give the company good public relations, and she couldn't even keep her own mouth shut. That shows she was a bad choice for the job to begin with.
This is true, but I'm going to go all the way back to the very beginning and say it all falls on Alison Rapp's shoulders, because honestly, if she wasn't such a stupid idiot and she wasn't sitting there tweeting out, I'm doing a cam show and here's stuff from my photo shoot and blah blah blah, yakety schmackety, or going all the way back to her thesis of reducing the age for child pornography, none of this could have happened. And that literally is it. Alison is 100% responsible for this all the way back to the very beginning. Yes, we make choices. Yes, we make mistakes. We're human. It is what it is as far as that's concerned. But sitting there, the people sitting there apologizing for her and saying it's not her fault, blah, blah, bullshit.
Well, the one thing is they did at least get her. I mean, they can't really get her on that much, but they got her on the moonlighting bullshit that she's not supposed to do anyway.
Well, moonlighting is allowed according to her Nintendo, but not moonlighting as a cam girl showing off your pictures.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is family friendly. It literally is family friendly. Nintendo prides itself on being family friendly, which I'm going to kind of call bullshit on, because they went full on, they're the only ones for Bayonetta 2, but moving on.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Loved it!
Yeah, I'm still playing through it on my Xbox One, but it's fucking hilarious. But again, what I'm trying to point out is when the company says family friendly, and most people seem to have some sort of issue with porn, setting yourself up as a cam girl is
retarded.
It's just pure and total stupidity. And Alison Rapp got exactly what she deserved.
I don't know. Nobody seemed to have a problem when Pee Wee Herman. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is when Pee Wee Herman was caught masturbating in a fucking theater back in, the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was up in arms, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Well, I actually have two things on the Pee Wee Herman thing. One, Pee Wee, you had fucking fans. Why didn't you just say, hey, I'm Pee Wee Herman, fuck me? Honestly. Go out, get a hook or something. That was a bad decision on your part, dude. But there's also the fact that, if people are going to get upset about porn, which, one of my favorite people is Mercedes, really, how much of this is just people just getting upset about something that really, why are you getting upset about it?
Well, okay, first off, Jim, I'm going to correct you on one thing.
Please.
If you've seen Pee Wee Herman's stand-up before Pee Wee's Playhouse, you'd know he never really was family-friendly. They just put him in that position because, well, they thought it would be cute. His stand-up before that, pretty damn raunchy.
Well, yeah, I know that much, but the thing with it is once you're in a position of being family-friendly, it's like Yeah.
You needed to let off some steam.
Hey,
but you're also becoming a public figure. Once you become a public figure, then your entire life is on display, and it affects all aspects of your life. In her case, she happened to become a public figure and did not adapt to that very well. She didn't start hiding the evidence. She didn't start trying to clean up her act. She actually exacerbated the problem.
Yeah, and that's where I'm sitting there looking at this. It's like, but is that not a conversation? And I would have loved to have had Mercedes in here for this. Mercedes, if you're listening, tweet me real quick and I'll shoot you a link. Is that not more of a conversation as to whether or not our society is just way overboard into a puritanistic mindset when it comes to sex and porn?
I think it's only certain aspects of culture is.
A lot of the most important aspects are, like, for example, if you look into who does, like, the rating system for, like, movies, like the whole PG-13, the R-rated, stuff like that. If you look at the council they have for who determines what goes on that, they're basically all Puritans.
Breaking news. Apparently social justice warriors have started a hashtag to try and defend Alison Rapp with new hashtag Nintendo cowardice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's failing badly.
It's not even trending. It's
wow.
Not even trending, and
does it have 12,000 votes?
Everyone else is coming back and saying, it's bullshit.
Really?
I'm looking through it right now, and it's like,
Wait, who is that?
Best Mom Eva said, when Nintendo cowardice is going so badly, you almost want to pull your arch enemies aside and coach them.
Yeah, well, I think that's a perfect segue into his gayness.
His royal gayness?
Yes, his royal gayness, who has trended twice. Who has trended twice.
Yiannopoulos.
That's what we're calling him now?
Well, that's what I call him.
His royal gayness.
Oh, more. Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get a kick out of it.
Yes, we all know he listens to our show. He is very amused by us.
Yes, he is very amused. Hey, Neff, do me a favor. Shoot him the link. Let's see if he actually does enjoy.
Considering the time zone difference,
not just that. Well, maybe find out precisely where we start mentioning him in this thing, and then send that out, because I think he'll just only want to hear about where we start talking.
No, he is awake apparently.
Yeah, well,
he's shitposting as usual, so he's definitely on the job.
Well, you never know. I mean, he may not be the one shitposting. It may be one of his 44 kids in a trench coat.
Yeah, that's true. I do love the fact that BuzzFeed actually fell for that.
It's BuzzFeed.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, BuzzFeed falls for all kinds of...
It's in a trench coat.
My question is, how big is that trench coat?
Well, I'm wondering, is it 44 kids in a single trench coat, or is it 44 kids in their own trench coats?
Or is it 2 kids per trench coat?
Yeah.
No, it's just
no.
trench coat in a dark alley, and he opens up to, like, a Catholic priest. Hey, you want to buy a little Timmy?
Well, I was going to say, if it's Rachel, it might be just one Rachel in 2 trench coats. You never know. Because she opens...
She's 22 kids each.
No, I'm saying she'll open one just so you think you're getting flashed and all you're seeing is another trench coat.
Trench coatception?
Yes. Okay, somebody please take us through the article. Take us through the BuzzFeed stupidity.
I'm not touching BuzzFeed with a 10-foot nuclear deterrent weapon.
I didn't even read that article. Fuck that shit.
The funny thing is that not only did it was New York Magazine picked up on the BuzzFeed article and ran with it. So a supposedly reputable news source picked up on BuzzFeed and ran with their bullshit. Can we say ethics in journalism?
Like, we've seen that so many times before, especially when they ran the, what was his name? You know, the guy who did the mass shooting and they kept insisting that he was like an MRA. It was basically just all the more popular websites were just repeating what the less popular ones had said.
Yeah, that was Elliot Rodger, and that was all started from our good supporter of men's rights, Man Boobs.
Yeah. And that's
certainly does support.
Yeah, he sends us all the good people. Keeps all the shit ones.
Yeah. For which we are very thankful to David Futrell for the mass recruitment he does for the men's rights movement. But going back to it, yes, that's exactly what it is, and I think we need to sit there and talk about ethics in actual journalism. When you're sitting there, you're taking somebody else's article, you're using that as a source, and it gets shown to be a troll, you really need to start looking at how your journalistic integrity is, and how your fact checking is, and actual research is into these articles. Because if you're getting caught in this stuff, and I understand, I'm going to be the first one to sit there and say, news happens and it has to be up within a couple of hours, or you don't get the clicks, you don't get the money. I understand that. However, I will explain something to the New York Post and all these other sites. If you're putting up the wrong stuff consistently, you're going to lose the clicks anyway. If you put up the actual facts more often, you'll draw in more clicks over time. Plus, people will sit there and say, well, they're more accurate. I'll wait for their article. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
So what do we say if we agree? Like, nothing?
No.
Well, I will point out one thing here. As we all know about Deep Freeze, which is the website cataloging the journalistic improprieties of the gaming community, they were talking about, specifically Bone Golem, who created it, was talking about the possibility of one day expanding it into being a website about all journalism. And of course, he was saying at that point it would need to be something that is paid for. Yes, we can, Rachel. And we'd have to have.
Yes. Awesome.
We'd have to have the entire thing funded, because otherwise he couldn't do it by himself. Even right now, with it just being about gaming journalism, it's a little expensive for him and a little time-consuming. But this is something that we desperately need, a watchdog for all journalism.
Well, that's the problem. Like, even just covering games journalism alone, there's like so many cases of it popping up on like a daily basis that, yeah, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Rachel, you've got a nice little thought going on in your background.
Well, that would be my chair does this weird thing where it just decides to start moving slowly but surely downward. One of the things that we should mention is the fact that all of this stuff really began when Milo Yiannopoulos, they did a fake story which was suggesting that that Milo was used for having used interns to write all of his stuff and things like that, but it was really just a troll, and these folks fell for it. Well, we mentioned that?
Second time.
On April Fool's Day. Like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's basically they had a April Fool's Day post that they made that was really blatantly obvious April Fools. Like, to quote from the actual article itself, it says, let's see. Ah, Yet the sources who came forward to BuzzFeed News tell a different story. Milo Yiannopoulos is not one person, said the Breitbart employee. That person does not exist. It is a collective consciousness of various different people who come and go. Yeah, that's obviously false, because we've actually seen Milo show up and talk in person.
On TV shows.
Yeah, so...
Well, not only that, but,
unless it's a hologram.
Well, or he could be a sock puppet, but considering that I've actually...
not a sock puppet because, he doesn't have the googly eyes.
Well, okay, fair enough. But I've actually hung out with the guy. This is really how he is. He really is. So, yeah, anybody who's actually met Milo Yiannopoulos will tell you that's how he is. So either he's a really good character actor, is like phenomenal at acting this character, or that's how he is. And I'm going to go with that's how he is. So BuzzFeed got trolled, honestly.
Now, I have an announcement that has come through. Unfortunately, this one, it's kind of hard to tell because it was a post made yesterday. And such, it could be real, it could not be. But apparently Ryan Reynolds tweeted out that Deadpool is coming to DVD and Blu-ray on May 10th. He said, I quote, "I'm coming on Blu-ray May 10th. Also, non-existent special edition VHS and Laserdisc 19 years ago."
I think the last part is the troll, but let me check.
Games Radar says it's true. Various websites that monitor when Blu-rays are coming out also say it's true.
Yeah, but the VHS, Laserdisc, we all know those.
Yeah, I know. That part they don't say is true, but they are reporting May 10th we should be seeing Deadpool on DVD and Blu-ray.
I'm not sure I can buy that because I just checked, and May 10th is World Lupus Day, and it's never lupus.
It's not lupus. Let me check my Amazon.
Oh, yeah, good question. Well, Amazon will definitely tell you for sure. Deadpool. Yep, they say May 10th.
It's not lupus, except for that one time that it was lupus.
Amazon says May 10th as well.
Yeah,
Woo!
Everybody's saying May 10th. So
we get the Deadpool!
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that's a...
quick turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, is it even out of the box office yet?
It's not. It's still playing, but it's been in there a lot longer than it was supposed to run because it's still making profits. Like, if they wait until it stops making profits, it's going to be a lot longer than May 10th.
Yeah, but at the same time, let's look at Force Awakens, which is currently available on fucking Amazon streaming.
Yeah, they're desperate to get money for that.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. As the turnaround is, once you got the hype still going, they want to get the high DVD sales, so they're trying to get the DVDs out quicker. It's all a money thing. Speaking of money, I want to go back to Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. As of right now, it's only made $424 million. It's made its money back, which I honestly think was a mistake. But, I mean, any movie where Batman starts killing large number of people is not Batman. But then again, I will say anytime Zack Snyder does a movie with established characters like Batman, Superman, anything like that, he makes a decent movie, but it's not actually true to the characters.
Batman.
Well, yeah, for example, Wonder Woman was only on stage for 7 minutes instead of hogging the whole show. That's completely out of character.
Yeah, I mean, if she was a feminist, she would have been there and she would have been butting her head into everything. And on that note, I think we should remember that it's time to remove some guns.
Wait.
Not just from Batman fans.
Wait. Before we move into removing guns from Overwatch, let's start off with what's caused the removing the guns from Overwatch.
Buttgate.
Yeah, Buttgate.
Badonkadonks.
Why do we have to gate everything? It's like we're just going to be left with a gated community.
And, you know, I do have to say that there was one famous person who did weigh in on this, and after hearing about the controversy, he was not impressed because he says that, and I quote, "I like big butts, and I cannot lie."
Oh, God.
Mr. Mix-a-Lot?
Yes, Mr. Mix-a-Lot weighed in on this, and he said that Blizzard was wrong because he likes the big butts.
Well, okay. Since you know so much, Neff, please take people through it.
The polygraph confirms this.
Yes, the polygraph confirms it. Well, character of Tracer in Blizzard's upcoming FPS, and just so everyone knows, Overwatch is kind of an FPS similar in vein to Team Fortress 2. It's very cartoony styled, very stylized. It's got, instead of having just a couple character styles like Team Fortress 2, this thing's got a freaking roster of almost 24 different characters. It's got a talking monkey, it's got a robot, it's got a dwarf, it's got everything. And one of the characters, Tracer, is this time-traveling / space-traveling...
No. Actually, the character of Tracer was a test pilot testing a new jet that utilizing time dilation or something to that effect could move faster. When it was tested, it was a massive failure. The jet and her disappeared. What it found out was she was stuck out of sync with time, and thanks to Winston, Overwatch's scientific genius, he was able to synchronize her with time, but gave her the ability to jump forward and stuff. Move.
Yeah. So it appears like she's bouncing around in space, even though she's actually bouncing around in time. But she's basically like this spunky young girl who's got an attitude. And one of her poses, one of victory, was she would stand there and she would basically look over her shoulder. And this pose is not that unusual, considering one of the other characters, Hanzo, a samurai-type dude, has the exact same.
Well, no. Almost every female has that same exact pose.
Actually, I think almost every character in the game has that pose.
Right. Now,
but we've seen it in Hanzo at least, and it's not sexualized. She's not bending over and presenting her ass. She's just looking behind her. And they took it as, oh my god, this is sexualized. I do not want this. We have to ban it. Or one person took it that way. And then instead of saying, hey, you know, maybe you guys should tone down this pose a bit, said, this is going to offend my daughter. I don't want this in the game. So he didn't even complain himself. He complained on behalf of someone who shouldn't be playing the game because the game is teen or older. No, it was a guy.
It was a guy?
It was a guy complaining for his daughter. His 9-year-old daughter.
I wish people could see me right now. I am double face palming.
Yeah, it was a guy complaining for his 9-year-old daughter that she would see this in a rated 14 game.
Well, maybe she shouldn't be playing teen games until she's a teen. That's kind of
why
the rating is there.
Yeah, but, you know, parents these days, they don't really give a shit about the rating on the game as long as it's a babysitter. And in this case, I'm betting that this person wasn't even going to buy the game. They just wanted to complain and used some fictional daughter as an excuse. Then what happened is Blizzard said, you know, we're going to remove it. And then people said, what the hell are you doing? This is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And Blizzard said, you know, we listened to the community and we think we should remove it.
No, you're not listening to the community, and that's the problem, is that the community are the people that have pre-ordered the game. They've already enjoyed the game. They want to like the game. They're going to buy the game, or they have already bought the game. That is your community. Your community is not people that are never going to get the game and are just complaining on the sidelines.
Yeah, and as one of the community, I actually had it pre-ordered months ago. Had. Keyword there is had. Because as soon as this came out and I found out what Blizzard was doing, I literally went in, asked for a refund, and said, you know what? I just deleted my pre-order. I just asked for a refund on that. I know on Reddit they have a thread how to get the refund for Overwatch people who are pissed off at this shit. The gaming community has been so annoyed with these social justice warriors coming in dictating what can and cannot be in our games that we're starting to do the right thing and using our wallets and showing these companies we're not taking this bullshit anymore. Go ahead, Neff, say it.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Copyright strike.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Neff.
Yeah, but I sound nothing like Twisted Sister.
Fair. Or what's the one who did the cover of it? Biff Naked.
I definitely don't sound like that.
Yeah, I actually like Biff Naked a little bit better, but we won't go there.
Blasphemy!
No, I like Twisted Sister's version better. I like Biff Naked better.
You like Biff Naked?
Yeah, he does. He likes Biff Naked. That's why he keeps watching Back to the Future, so he can see Biff Naked.
Future.
Yeah,
it's actually a really...
Okay, Biff, for those of you who don't know, Biff Naked is a female singer who actually covered We're Not Gonna Take It from Twisted Sister. Moving back to Tracer.
Oh, no.
The whole thing with this is a large number of the characters have that same pose, including other female characters. But the one with Tracer is the one where these people have gotten offended.
It's probably because Tracer is basically the...
She's the poster girl.
She's the poster girl for it. She's the one that they're putting on everything. So all you see is Tracer everywhere. If you know nothing about the game, all you're gonna know is Tracer. So if you want to complain about the game and you have nothing about the game, it's gonna be about Tracer.
Yeah. So that's why I sit there and I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, it's obvious that this person doesn't know enough about the game. Is that it's only Tracer that they're complaining about, even though clearly, at least from what I gathered from looking through the forum thread, clearly at least half of the characters have this same pose, including a large number of the female characters. Come on, but it needs to be removed from Tracer. And one of the justifications from Blizzard was that it doesn't follow Tracer's character, except for the fact that you could see Tracer being a huge fucking troll on the internet.
She's kind of cocksure constantly.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell, if you look at the first intro trailer, you see it.
I just feel sorry for the people who are actually behind the scenes, developing the game, making the poses, making the characters. They just got told by their PR guy that the work they did is wrong and that the character they created was wrong. And that's gotta suck.
Well, they know better because apparently everybody loves Tracer. because she's freaking everywhere and everybody's obsessed with Tracer, and she's probably single-handedly responsible for half of the sales of the game.
Well, watching the Overwatch trailer, Tracer is fucking hilarious. Because when you first see her, she's sitting there right next to Widowmaker, who's lining up a freaking snipe shot and going, "What you looking at?" You can tell she's a female Spider-Man with the same kind of sense of humor. So she actually probably would stand in that pose.
Hell, she probably would bend over a little bit, too.
Hello, not even probably. That's a guaranteed.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, is this, the justification doesn't match the character, what we've seen of the character so far, what we know of similar characters. So, honestly, I would have to say the most logical assessment is that Blizzard caved. Well, let me rephrase that. The logical assessment is they caved partly due to that one complaint, but also mostly due to the fact that they have a bunch of people in their organization who have similar thought processes of, we can't offend people.
Well, hell, I mean,
this is why Blizzard is failing.
I mean, literally, the PR should be protecting them from the stupids, not fucking kowtowing to the stupids. It's like, okay, we're just gonna pimp it out more. Like, Christ.
Yeah, they should have done exactly like Protein World and all of that. Just go harder at it. Just basically say, hey, fuck you guys.
Yeah, but that's not how Blizzard works. That's not how Blizzard has ever worked. Like, if you ever checked like any of their stuff, they have a very hard line corporate policy of not doing anything that may possibly lead to bad press, and if bad press does occur, just go radio silent on all of it. That's what they've done every single time anything has happened. It's like, anytime they make a mistake, they basically go quiet. Anytime there's something that might be a problem that they've screwed up, they hide it. Like, they will never admit to having made a mistake. Even in their patch notes, they'll phrase it in such a way that it wasn't really a bug, it was something that we added a new feature where the bug didn't exist, kind of thing. Like, Blizzard's pretty obsessive compulsive about that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm going to sit there and point out, the obsessive compulsive is probably what's needed to actually put in really good, to create some really good games. But at some point...
They haven't done that in about half a decade.
No kidding.
Yeah. But at some point, you got to sit there and say, okay, our fans enjoy this. We should keep this in. It goes back to Cataclysm. Or is it Cataclysm where they completely redid the skill system in WoW?
Yeah.
Where it's it's like people like the old skill trees where they could choose and create their own thing. They didn't like cookie cutter.
Well, I've actually had this debate with Christian before. Technically, the old talent system was cookie cutter if you were doing raiding, because you would end up having to follow a specific cookie cutter for whatever spec you were doing, so you could actually be efficient in raiding. There were exceptions, but for the most part, you pretty much followed one cookie cutter to the letter, and I think that's why Blizzard wanted to do the change, because they wanted to give people options, and I understand the reasoning behind it, they just didn't go about it very well.
Well, there's also the problem that they took it from something that looked and felt like you had control, even though for the most part you didn't, but it looked and felt like you did. And then they changed it to something that you have a bit more control, but it doesn't look or feel like you do.
Yeah. It was very badly implemented.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, a lot of the times, even though you have the best of intentions in how you're going to do something, how you do it, it tends to overshadow how it's be overshadowed by how it's done. The implementation of something is just as important as what your intention is.
Though I have to say, with the Overwatch debacle from Blizzard, I have to say the community had the best response to it.
Oh, yes. Please, Mike, tell us.
Oh, yeah, this is one I did a video on myself because I'm like, wait a second, this is like, at first I'm like, oh, fuck this, I don't want to deal with it. Then I'm hearing there's a petition signing, and at first I'm thinking, oh, crap, more bullshit out there. Then I hear, take away guns from Overwatch, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I start reading it, I'm like, oh my god, you fucking son of a bitch. You are actually mocking these motherfuckers. I have to sign. Give me the dotted line now, you bastards.
Who here hasn't signed? Raise your hands.
No, I totally signed within, like, the first few hours.
I think we need to remove guns. It's terribly offensive. Somebody might get hurt.
But yeah, that's the whole point. Is we're mocking them for the stupidity. And I don't think anybody understands that that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of why they're doing it is that stupid.
Dum 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 dum.
Jeez, where was it? Yeah, it is that stupid that the whole getting rid of guns is based upon the liberal argument against guns and for gun control. And it's just so stupid that when you apply it to the game, you see how stupid the argument is. And the fact that so many people in the community are basically pointing out to Blizzard through this that getting rid of that pose is their worst decision, and the only thing worse that they could possibly do is follow this petition.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Blizzard does, just because it'll show they're stupid.
Well, no, if they do that, they screw over the game completely.
Exactly. They've already started. Might as well finish.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
as I've always said, we've gone too far. Let's keep going, see what happens.
Well, that brings us back to what I was saying about Tay. It's like they've gone so far with screwing over Tay. Let's see what happens.
Now, what were you saying, Kat?
I was pointing out that there is a game that they removed the guns on. Well, it's basically designed around not having guns as such, called Splatoon. It did really well. So, it is possible, but not in the way they're handling it.
Yeah, although Splatoon was completely different in concept, and
yeah, I know.
It's freaking awesome. I want to play it.
Yeah, like, I can't argue that. It is, like, a really amazing game, but it's a completely different genre and stuff like that. But, well, not completely different because it's similar, but, you get the idea.
No, I don't.
Well,
explain.
Alright. Well, the thing I was just saying is that, like, if they want to get rid of the guns, they can't anymore because they've already built up everything about the game around the fact that people are shooting each other. And you can't really do anything with that. There are games that have done something similar without guns, like the Splatoon game, but it's just not really the same thing. You can't do it without building the game from the ground up. And it's the same thing for these characters. Like, once you've designed a character that has a certain personality to it, you can't go back on that personality that everybody loves and try to change the core of what makes the character who they are. It's already too late. The only way you could do that is remove the character from the game, which... she's the poster child for the game. You basically have to ditch the whole game at that point.
Okay, so we're basically thinking the same thing, that changing this character is pretty much ruining the character, and since she is the poster child, kind of screwing over the game.
For a large part, yeah.
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's destroy the whole thing.
I'm good with that.
After all, if we can't make it good, let's put it out of its misery.
It can't be any worse than Diablo 3's opening release.
I don't know about that.
It took them a while to recover that.
Away slowly.
Well, you know, when a game that you release 6 months later is pretty much go ahead and play it free, yeah, there's a problem. I'm looking at you, EA, BioWare, Star Wars The Old Republic.
Oh, EA. Yes, EA, the destroyer of everything. And then, of course, BioWare, who has now been officially flushed down the toilet.
I will say one thing for EA, though. I actually like EA because in the contract for one of the games that I worked on, it specifically states that if the company was ever purchased specifically by EA, then all the intellectual property rights default to me. And I am given a severance package and fired from the company instantly. That is actually in one of my contracts.
I like this contract.
Yeah, turns out my boss found out that they had screwed with Mass Effect.
Well, I can confirm that, considering the fact that I live where BioWare is. And unfortunately now I have to deal with two prominent feminists working for BioWare, and I'm just like, well, glad I'm not buying any BioWare games anymore. I'm sorry, but CD Projekt Red has now replaced you as the top of the RPG community.
God, yes, I'm looking for 2077 now.
Oh, yeah. That, at first I was like, you know, I'm not so sure about that. And then I started playing the Witcher series, and I'm like, fuck yes, it can't come soon enough.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I gotta start playing the Witcher series eventually.
Dude, you will lose your life in it. Set time aside. Actually regulate it.
I actually have all 3 of the Witchers and all the downloadable content on Steam. I just
haven't got the time to sit down and play them.
Exactly. That's my biggest issue is, you know, real life comes first. Yeah.
You have a real life?
I have a job.
Oh, well, those don't count.
That sucks. Okay, what else do we have? Do we have... oh, yes, we have the great day... The Day of Trolls. The April Fool's Day jokes. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
You were supposed to stay quiet. We were trolling him.
You fuckers.
I like what Pornhub did.
Okay, so I'm going to run us through this. You know, you can't... Of course, we all know you can't always trust what you read on the internet. But on April Fool's Day, everything you read on the internet needs a lot more skepticism. CD Projekt Red has started off with one of the better gags with, a horse is a horse is a horse, of course. The Witcher Wild Hunt has everything you always wanted to know about Roach, but were afraid to ask. Roach is the horse.
Of course.
Let's see. Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft gets in with, let's say, today we are ceasing all hostilities with your Brotherhood. Honest, pinky swear, we look forward to future continued cooperation between both sides. Love the Templars. totally not April Fools. Dark Souls 3, the movie.
I was going to
coming
say
out
with
on VHS.
I think
Don't forget that the Assassin's Creed official Twitter did reply to them, and it said it's cute they thought that this would work.
Oh, the best April Fool's prank from Assassin's Creed. We'll give you a Japanese ninja one.
Personally, my favorite April Fool's joke usually comes from the same place. Think Geek, where this year they had a life-sized Attack on Titan lawn ornament for sale.
Well, here's one going back to the Tracer thing is like Blizzard Entertainment removing the butt pose for Tracer, but Black Desert Online is adding that pose in.
Well, I'm actually looking at Black Desert Online. I played the open beta that they had, and it was pretty good. I mean, the graphics are freaking incredible.
Yes, and has the most involved.
I like their official
character creation.
I like their official statement on it. The first series of butt pose animations will be added during next week's maintenance and will be made available at no additional cost, developer Don Game said. A wider range of optional butt pose animations will be made available through the cash shop at a later stage.
Yes, they're going to sell more butts.
Yes. We can always use more butts in society.
Yeah, just remember, though, you need to see more butts.
Oh. Let's see. There were a lot of other notable jokes online aside from the ones from the gaming sphere.
Please tell.
Like Tumblr. Tumblr had arbitrary voting thing on. Yeah, with lizards. Oh, actually, well, no. I think three of them were actual reptiles, and one was a salamander named Deborah. And I'm like, bitch, you ain't even real. You ain't even a real fucking amphibian. You guild motherfucker. Fuck you.
Oh no! I've got the best. I've got the best one. Sony put out the best one.
What did they do?
The Proton Pack. Engineered by Dr. Egon Spengler of Columbia University.
Yeah, but it's now been re-engineered by button-fucking idiots.
Yeah. Here we go. Nyko introduces the Ego Booster 1337 controller.
1337.
Sounds pretty
cute.
elite to me.
Yeah, it's pretty elite.
Oh, and then there's the Maximum Nova Drive for StarCraft Racing.
You didn't even say the best part of the lead controller. It has an I win button, which automatically rage quits for you.
Then there was the Corn Hub.
Oh, yes.
With hot shucking action.
I love that, especially their, Corn Hub Premium, why it is butter.
Oh, God.
Basically. Like white butter.
Jeez. Yeah. The inner troll of human beings came out for a short period of time on April Fool's, and we all know that, our inner troll needs a workout, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just box it in.
Okay. Anything else? Does anybody else have anything to talk about?
Oh, just Rachel's butt posing, but that's it.
Yeah, well, we know about Rachel's butt posing and her anal obsession.
I think we're good.
Okay, so I guess...
No, we're good. You're fabulous, darling.
No, Milo is fabulous.
I can't.
We're good.
We're good. I just can't. He just does it so much better.
We're talking about men, darling.
Jeez.
Anyway.
Yeah, darling. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so since we've trolled the hell out of the internet for the longest time, I'm gonna go with final thoughts. Let's start off with Kat.
Don't put me on the spot. I don't know. I got nothing. It's like too much stupid in 1-2 week period for me to handle.
Fair enough. Neff?
My final thought is nuke the planet from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Okay. Rachel, final thought?
Isn't that more of, like, a final solution than a final thought?
Well, both.
It would be the final thought.
Except for Nefenor, because he'd be continuing on. Rachel, final thought.
Wait, you calling on me?
Yes.
The April Fool's was fun this year, and watch the television show Vikings. It's very Viking-y. It's very nice.
Yes, Rachel was surprised that the Viking show had
more soft. No, it was it's just a lot more. It's like a more soft-core version of Game of Thrones, but with less MacGuffin.
And more Viking.
And more Vikings. Yeah.
In other words, it gets Rachel hot, people. We got it. Mike, Shill, final thought.
Check out Red Pill Gamers, and unlike social justice warriors, it won't give you cancer.
What are you talking about? Everything gives you cancer these days.
You're the chemo.
Cancer gives you cancer.
Well, that's the thing. That's how good our Red Pill Gamers are. We don't give you cancer. We just give Rachel anal.
Oh!
Oh, well,
isn't that the Rachel special?
No, it's not.
No.
The Rachel special.
No, it's not.
Rachel giving you.
Oh.
Jesus.
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for coming on and just causing the laughter and the amusement. It is a joy to do this every other week, and actually next week we're just gonna get together, talk trash, and let you see what goes on behind the scenes with us.
Oh God, do we have to wear pants?
Oh no.
No, Kat, you don't have to wear pants because Rachel never does.
Can I moon the camera?
You are more than welcome to moon the camera.
I'm not even wearing. So,
but
when I do these things, I'm never wearing pants.
You realize you're just lending credibility to all the accusations we make, right?
Yeah.
Accusations? What? Not what?
All right. So my final thoughts are basically, yes, I want to thank all two of our viewers and everybody who listens later on. My final thought is, Blizzard, you're an idiot. You lost a ton of pre-orders for Overwatch for what you did, and you're probably not going to get them back. So you need to start understanding that sometimes listening to your community is good, but figure out, based upon a large assessment of the majority, you'll get a better answer next time. And beyond that, it's been fun. Enjoy your weekend, everybody, and take the red pill.